Rose, you're new to Bayciss. Would you like to introduce yourself to the church?
Sure, sure. So I'm new to Bayciss, but not new to this sector. So for the last 10 years, I was at Port Phillip Community Group in the city of Port Phillip, and very similar work. We had 4 sites, including a neighbourhood house, and lots of emergency relief, lots of counselling, casework, very, very similar sort of things to Bayciss. My background is as a psychologist, and I've worked in occupational rehab. I've been a marriage counsellor. I've done research positions across about 5 different universities. I've had a private practice. So, I like people, and this role has been a great place to land at this point.
Oh, awesome. Well, we are super happy to meet you and to be continuing our partnership with Bayciss. And it's timely that you and I kind of started at the same time. So Andy did a bit of a handover, but it's been good to build rapport between the two of us. Now, do you want to tell us a little bit about Bayciss? I know the church has heard a lot about Bayciss as a bit of a crisis drop-in centre, especially over COVID, but you guys actually do more than that. So do you want to give us a bit of a picture of the varied work that Bayciss does?
Sure, sure. So it's really quite extensive. I mean, given how small the site is and how few staff we have, we do a lot, but then that's the case with the community sector. We have few dollars and we stretch them as far as we can, and we do everything we can possibly do. So emergency relief is what everyone knows us for at Bayciss rather than Castlefield. But emergency relief is often the gateway to all of our other services. And so, I drive everyone crazy with, if someone's saying hello outside the window, that's an inquiry, put that in the data, and also go out and say, hey, what's going on? So people will frequently walk in and say, I've come in to see if I can get some food. And that's our opening. And it's like, great, sure, come on through. What's been happening for you? And we might end up, if we decide that it's a really complex case, we'll ask a caseworker to get involved. And so I should say that all of our front office people are volunteers or students. And so if it's a complex case, we ask someone else more experienced to get involved. So emergency relief, people sort of say, well, what is that? So it's actual food. It's also food vouchers. It's also Mikey tickets. It's also pharmacy cost support. It's bill assistance. It's utility relief grants. It's no interest loans. It's tax help. We also have family counsellors on site, so we can also refer into that. It's pretty substantial, and the range of what we do is incredible. Someone will come in and ask for us to help them with a form, and we'll say, yeah, sure, we can sit down and do that. We do a lot of support for people who have got housing applications in, because the housing organisations simply don't have the time to sit down with someone who's a bit more complex, to look through their stuff with them, to maybe use an interpreter to help fill out all of that information. People are coming in who don't have an email address and saying, I can't apply for the power saving bonus because I don't know how to set up an email address. So, it's amazing getting people library cards and email addresses. To us, that's basic, but we're actually giving them some of the tools that they need. So it's about building, people's resilience and using a strengths-based approach. It's quite varied, and no 2 days are the same.
Sounds like exciting work and really rewarding work, and just meeting people where they're at, and that's amazing. Now, can you tell us a bit about Castlefield and that site of Bayciss? Because I think that's something that a lot in the church don't know about, and probably in the community don't know about as well.
Yeah, so Castlefield Community Centre is in Hampton, and it's a beautiful purpose-built building, and they do a significant amount of childcare, but they also do heaps of other classes and programs which are complementary for what we have at Bayciss. So we can often refer people down. So they have singing classes, art classes, quilting classes. The other day I was there and that people were playing bridge, and I was told to whisper because they're very, very serious.
I was there as well, yes.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. They're pretty open too. So they rent rooms out to groups like yoga, Alcoholics Anonymous, and there's a lovely space for children. So a lot of people will hire the place to have a children's party, which is a great opportunity to see the space and get used to things. They're running play groups as well, and about to start a play group for children with disabilities and severe medical needs, and so they will come in with their parental care and be able to play with other children in that site, which is pretty amazing. I'm absolutely delighted by that. And we have a coordinator down there, paid coordinator, part-time, and she's a dynamo, and she's even doing outreach at some of the housing estates from that site. So it is very much a part of Bayciss, and my role is to manage Castlefield and Bayciss, but Sally, who is our coordinator at Castlefield, is doing a fantastic job and does just about everything. So they're open to being responsive the way we are at Bayciss. If something is missing in the community, they'll put their hand up and say, we could probably run a group like that. So we do Chatty Cafe down there, which everyone else is doing, and the caseworker from Bayciss is able to go down and support that. She also goes down to Castlefield and runs the Building Blocks program, which is around digital literacy. So a lot of her clients will meet her down there in this other space and just learn how to do something that they don't know how to do. And so it's a real drop-in site where, as you said, we meet people where they're at. So if they come down and say, I just want to know how to log on to Facebook and see photos of my grandchildren, we'll do it. So, and for other people, it's I have no idea about this stuff and I don't know how to turn a computer on. Come on down, we'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful space. The community garden there is lovely. Sally is amazing. So if anyone's in the neighbourhood, drop in, have a cup of her. And I think for a lot of people in our church who felt like, oh, maybe I am not equipped to volunteer at the Hampton East Bayciss site, the Castlefield site might be for them as well. So do you want to talk to us a little bit over both sites about some of the volunteer opportunities at the moment and the way that the church, which has quite a big volunteer base, can help you guys out?
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I mean, we are absolutely dependent on volunteers. We can't do what we do without volunteers. And so obviously at Bayciss, we ask volunteers to support us across a range of roles. If they just want to go and stock the pantry and tidy up, terrific. If they want to bag all the donated bread into bags every couple of weeks, terrific. Some people just want to do the reception role. Some people want the support worker role. And there is a course that our Peak Body runs, which is an 8-week program, and we pay for that. So if someone's really interested in being a community support worker, they'll be encouraged to do that course and be supported. And that, everyone says, it gives them a lot of confidence and great background to doing that work. I'm looking for someone who might be interested in doing social media, website stuff, and that's obviously flexible and can be done at any time. So for people who are working and can't really commit to work, work hours, that's an option. Admin can be done that way. We have a great no interest loans volunteer who said to me the other day, there's way too many applications. We need another person. And she's so good and she would train up someone else. And that would suit someone who just wants to put in a couple of hours a week. There's other things like around Christmas time, there's often a need for more people to just come in who don't want to be a regular volunteer, but could put their hand up to come and pack some food hampers or, help us drive around stuff because there'll be things to be picked up from places. We've got a little WhatsApp group of people who just want to be drivers. And so I just put jobs out and say, is anyone available to go and get the fruit and veg this week? Or we've got a one-off order of meals coming from somewhere, can someone go and get it? And that works really well because there's no pressure. You can do it or not do it. Admin is always something that we're looking for support in, and people often come in and say, oh, that's my area, but I don't want to do that as a volunteer. And I go, great, that's fine. Let's find something for you. So it really is about making sure that people find their volunteer experience meaningful and that they're enjoying what they're doing. And of course, there's socialising and, we know that volunteering keeps us happier and healthier. That's been proven. Castlefield obviously has volunteers as well, and so volunteers can support some of the classes that are being run. So even the building blocks class is really great for volunteers because you don't have to have a high level of IT skills, but if having extra people there means more people get one-on-one support, and that works really nicely with high needs people or complex clients. And sometimes it's not even that, it's just, more people coming in saying, I just don't have this skill set, I'd love to come to a class. So the more people we have volunteering, the better that is. People can volunteer to support the Chatty Cafe, and that's really just helping people be socially included and socialising. Admin is, of course, another area at Castlefield that we could use support with, and even in the childcare, if somebody's interested in that area. But really, what I say to everyone is, if you're thinking about recording, come have volunteering, come have a chat and tell us what your interest is, because we'll probably find something that you're good at or that you want to learn about. And often I say, try before you buy. Come and shadow someone for 3 hours, and if you don't like it, we'll find you something else or whatever. So yeah, really happy to be flexible.
Well, thank you, Rose, for making the time and giving us a rundown about Bayciss. And I really hope this encourages some people from our church to get involved and volunteer. We're also doing a food collection all of October. So bring your food in. There's especially a need for long life milk, for canned proteins, for pasta sauces and canned tomatoes, all of those type of things. So you can bring those into the church all through October. But we hope that people reach out to you, or you can get in contact with me, church, and I'll put you in contact with Rose, and hopefully you get some volunteers. Thanks so much for your time, Rose.
Thank you.